Live from New York on the line. Sherwin, it comes as absolutely no surprise, the outpouring and love that we've seen around the world for Madiba. But the United States had a very special place in his heart. What was the atmosphere like in the church that you attended yesterday?
Well, as you just mentioned to me off camera, you've just played that insert, and I think what came through that was that there's a great sense of understanding. I mean, people have literally thrown open their doors here in the United States, and very much a kinship and an understanding of the tragedy that South Africans are experiencing at this time. Of course, many black Americans, the civil rights movement in this country, have lost many of their iconic leaders through traumatic, tragic circumstances in the 60s. The likes of John F. Kennedy, the former president of the United States, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King Jr., icons that were never able to fulfill the dream, as it were. And in many ways, Nelson Mandela embodied those unfulfilled dreams that many Americans had for their own struggle, a shared struggle. And Ambassador Kingsley Mamabola of the United Nations making the point today that, you know, we were not in the service today to cry on your shoulder as South Africans. We were crying on each other's shoulders. So very much an understanding that we are in this a period of mourning together, and just an outpouring of love and support from the American community, certainly towards South Africans in New York and around the country.
Yeah, one can imagine. But I understand, Sherwin, that you've also got some exclusive information for us that you can actually update us regarding plans to memorialize Madiba in the United States this week. What's been planned?
Well, there's a lot of information here. Let's see how well I do in remembering. What I can confirm is that the National Cathedral in Washington has been confirmed as the venue for the official American send-off to Nelson Mandela. This is a venue that has hosted the funerals of a number of former United States presidents, among them John F. Kennedy, most recently Ronald Reagan, Lyndon Johnson, Gerald Ford. And this will be an auspicious occasion and an auspicious venue for an auspicious icon that the world has come to love so much. What I can also confirm exclusively, Leanne, is that the man that will preside over that memorial will be none other than the Reverend Dr. Alan Bussack, someone that has faded from the spotlight in South Africa. We understand he is a visiting professor at a Christian seminary in Indianapolis here in the United States. He will be the maestro, as it were, of events in Washington on Wednesday. The keynote address will be given by the Vice President Joe Biden, the Vice President of the United States. That's been confirmed by the White House just today. That being sent, that information given to me by Ambassador Ibrahim Rasool. In addition to that, another anti-apartheid stalwart, a voice on the international scene in terms of the anti-apartheid movement. He will eulogize Nelson Mandela, the likes of Ambassador Andrew Young, a former ambassador to the United Nations. And of course, many members of government will be in attendance, but I can tell you that given a earth tremor in DC in 2001, there are renovations being done to the National Cathedral. So its capacity of 6,000 has been reduced to 2,000. I understand 600 seats are being provided to the United States government. Some 500 seats are being provided to business, the trade union movement, the anti-apartheid movement, interfaith communities. Several hundred tickets are being provided to the diplomatic corps, but only 200 tickets will be available to the public. The public will have to apply for those tickets on the South African Embassy website online. So very limited space and a huge demand. That's what we are getting from the South African Embassy in Washington tonight.
All right. Now, I mean, we're talking about numbers of heads of states that are coming out here, Sherwin, and you know, we reported 50, but you know, I'm busy taking a look at updated information, and it looks like it's even moved up to 70 heads of state, and representatives from most countries are coming out here. But there's a massive delegation that's coming from the United States, from the president to 3 former presidents, as well as a lot of congressmen. Obviously, you know a lot more being there. Just talk to us about this.
Well, I think it's safe for you to say, Leanne, that it's 70 and counting. What I can confirm is that President Barack Obama has invited 3 former presidents on his plane with him. In fact, 2 have confirmed. I'm not sure if Jimmy Carter is going to be on the same flight, but at least 3 presidents will arrive on Air Force One at probably a military base in and around the Johannesburg area. The likes of Bill Clinton and his wife, the former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, George W. Bush and his wife Barbara will be accompanying President Obama and his wife Michelle on Air Force One. They are probably due to arrive in the country within the next 24 24 to 48 hours, of course hoping to attend that memorial, that massive memorial that will be held at the FNB Stadium. Jimmy Carter will join them. He will be representing the group of elders which he was a member with, along with former President Nelson Mandela. So really quite an auspicious, quite a historic move to see 4 living United States presidents in a place outside of the United States. In addition, a number of celebrities, I understand Oprah Winfrey, the likes of Bono, the Reverend Jesse Jackson, civil rights leader and close friend of the Mandela family. A number of people are going to make this trip to South Africa, and no explaining why that would be.
Yeah, indeed. And this is mostly what we've been told for the memorial service as opposed to the funeral itself. Is that the information you're getting?
I lost you there, Leanne. Just repeat.
Just in terms of them coming into South Africa, it's for tomorrow's memorial service as opposed to the funeral on Sunday. That's what the details we're getting as well.
Well, just interacting with a number of journalists in South Africa and over here, everyone's very tight-lipped about who will be where. Is President Obama, for example, going to participate? Is he going to speak at the memorial on Tuesday? Is he going to attend the funeral, which seems unlikely if he were to arrive on as early as Tuesday this week? I was chatting to the spokesperson of the United Nations earlier this week because they confirmed that the UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon would make the trip from Paris, attending an Africa Peace Summit in Paris this past weekend. He's going to fly directly into Johannesburg. Which ceremonies will he be participating in? That still seems to be unclear. It's a logistical nightmare, and I think you can understand if just one US president was going to South Africa, what a logistical nightmare that is. Imagine 70 heads of state, the Secretary General, and a variety of other dignitaries. This is going to be a logistical nightmare, so spare a thought for the organizers and those people in government trying to pull this all together.
Yeah, most importantly. Sherwin, I'm going to push my luck because I know that we've only got about 10 minutes with you. I'm not too sure how long I've been going with you already until we lose our link. But just in terms of South Africans in New York, I mean, we saw the Empire State Building, which I'm seeing in my view as well, lit up in the South African flag. We saw hotels in Dallas in the South African flag. We saw the lighting of the Christmas tree in Times Square dedicated to Madiba. I can imagine being a South African in New York must be a very warming but at the same time heartbreaking feeling. There must be a sense of wanting to be here, Sherwin.
Absolutely, Leanne. I tell you, a number of South Africans that I've spoken to have expressed this desire, this real need, this deep feeling inside that they really want to be home at this time. They feel a little out of their depth being so far away. I was chatting soon after we heard the news. We rushed onto the streets and we chatted to a number of South Africans that were congregating at the Madiba restaurant in Brooklyn. And one lady said to me, you know, when I found out I was alone in my apartment, I saw these messages, I called my friends, I called South Africa, but I needed to be close to more South Africans. So I immediately left and went to the Madiba restaurant when I knew there were other people that were really going to understand and be able to commiserate on a level of grief that I was feeling. I was chatting to Pumzile Mlambo-Ngcuka, the former deputy president of South Africa, and she made the point. She said, I'm going. She's leaving tomorrow. Of course, she has business at the United Nations in New York as the executive director of UN Women. She's going. I was tweeting Geraldine Fraser-Moleketi, who now works for the African Development Bank based in Northeast Africa. I said, you know, what are your plans? She says, I've just landed in South Africa. I spoke to a white Afrikaans lady who said, you know, when I heard about the news, I draped a South African flag around my neck and I went walking on the streets and people came up to sympathize with me. And there was a time when you walked around with a South African flag on your neck in a foreign city, people didn't want to talk to you. People were rather very critical of you. And she said, Nelson Mandela changed that for us. And so that's just a snapshot of how South Africans are feeling, Leanne.
Unbelievable. Sherwin Bryce-Pease, thank you very much for talking to us. I know we're going to be talking to you a lot more through this day and through the week because there's so much happening over here. Thank you.